Welcome. My name is Natalia Kolev. I'm instructor of Neurographica. And today we're going to be having a free class about drawing, exploring relationships with Neurographica. We have some wonderful people join us. I'm very happy and thank you for everybody who is joining live. Because next month, February, 14th of February, we have a special celebration, like in America we do. I don't know in other countries, but do you know what it is?
Valentine's Day.
Yes, okay, you know. And it is about relationships. And that's why we prepared a course that we want to offer and present here in this class. And it is called Soul Connection. It is based on the PAC model, PAC, PAC model, which is developed by Canadian psychologist Eric Berne in the 1950s. And he discovered transactional analysis. He called this theory transactional analysis that are exploring this PAC model about the roles that we are playing, the inner child, the healing communications, how to heal those, and resolving conflicts in those areas, because it's not easy. And then we have 2 bonus classes about healing relationships with Ho'oponopono, and the class about blooming life, how to create abundance in your life. We also offer, but I'm going to talk about this later. So there are 2 different prices. So let us start drawing a little for now, and we will come back to this later. Okay, so for the drawing today, we will need a white piece of paper, and I'm going to be using black markers, but you are welcome to use any other color markers, black or green or blue. Just do all the lines with one color. So I invite you to think about a relationship that you have, that you may be having some miscommunications and you want to improve, or you maybe had a miscommunication before and you want to improve on this relationship. So we have 2 participants in this relationships, right? So you and somebody else. And this can also be, I didn't say it, but this can also be you and your body, or you and your sickness, or you and money. So later on, if you have time, you can explore not just relationship between 2 people, but relationship between you and something else. So find on the paper, just scan with your hand and see where you want to place yourself. We're going to start with yourself. And I want to place myself here, and you can just put a dot. It's a small little dot where it's you, and this is I. And with your hand just hovering over, with the marker hovering over the paper, let's see what shape do you want to draw yourself. So it doesn't have to be any particular shape. It may be more edgy, more roundy. Mine is not edgy, not it's kind of not any particular shape, but I was thinking it's going to be a circle. Circle is a good shape, but it's not very circular. So just draw yourself. How, and this is your perception at this time now. How do you feel yourself? And as you draw, notice your body reaction. So is your body, maybe the temperature, notice, what do you notice in your body? Maybe you're noticing that your feet are cold, or your torso is cold or warm, or you're having, your shoulders are squeezed, or opposite, they're straightened. What is it that you're noticing when you're looking at this shape? And you can go over this shape and see if you want to change the shape. Maybe you want to make it into a circle, maybe later, maybe not right now. Right now, I don't want to change it right now. Right, mine will stay like this.
Nat, you have a question.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
Is it better to be smoother like a circle or more uneven like yours?
Whatever feels good for you. Circle will represent like a state of some positive, more solid state, more harmonized state. And if you feel like this, you can draw a circle. For me, this is the shape that I feel that represents myself right now. So for everybody, it's going to be different. Don't copy from me. You don't have to copy from me. And it's something wrong with my camera. If I move away the focus, it's becoming, well, I don't like, okay. This is a little bit further, too far away. I think I'm going to leave it like this. So it's, you don't see my entire paper, but I think it's better for now. I'll move it a little bit later. So we have done the first shape that represents ourselves. And now find on the paper, where do you want to put the other participant? And you can slide your hand over the paper or hover with your marker. I'm sorry. It was strange that I did this sound because I want to put my husband here, but it feels very uncomfortable. It's absolutely not comfortable. But this is where it is. Wow. It feels so uncomfortable. See for yourself, where do you want to put your other participant and how does it feel? And then, yes, is there a question?
Yes, sorry. I was just going to ask, are you trying to find a spot that is uncomfortable, or are you trying to find one that is comfortable? Like a spot.
Okay, so this is very intuitive. And my body just showed me I wanted to put a spot here for him. And then once I chose this spot, I felt uncomfortable.
Okay. So my spot, like I instinctively, went to a spot, but I did like the spot. Is that okay?
Okay, yes, that's the same thing. You don't like where it is. So we'll work with it and we'll look at it later. There is an information that your intuition is trying to show you, and we'll explore what it is. Okay, so now let's draw a shape around or including with this dot. My shape is gonna, for my husband, for your other participant. So it can be a circle, it can be something edgy, it can be something like the first one. See what it is. And it doesn't have to be in the center of the shape. So for me, it's gonna be something edgy. And even my pen refuses, even my marker refuses to draw. So this is what my husband represents for me. And and after you draw your participant, notice how your body feels, what your thoughts are. When you look at this shape, how do you feel? And so we are looking to create a communication, to create a good connection, to restore if the connection has been broken or there are some problems in this connection. We want to create a better positive connection. So the next step would be to connect those two dots. If you can connect them now. I, for some reason, don't feel like I want to connect those. Does anybody else feels the same? Or can you connect them easily? So can you type a plus in the chat if you can connect them easily? If in type a minus if you cannot. Okay, so good. Okay, so what we are gonna do, there are a few minuses. If you can connect, just connect them. If you cannot connect, stay with it through the next steps and observe.
Isabel asked,
Yeah.
should they be connected with a neuro line?
Okay, that's a good question. No, just a straight line. I didn't say because I didn't draw it. But if you drew a neural line, it's fine too. It's okay. So whoever cannot connect them still, there are a few people that cannot connect, including me. We're gonna do it at a later stage. For now, just leave it like this. And let's start adding neural lines and thinking about this relationship. So if you have
Nat.
edge, yes.
So I don't have a partner, so I'm using this to attract my soulmate. Is there anything different you would do?
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
have a husband or somebody I'm trying to improve a relationship with. I'm trying to attract a relationship.
right. Okay. So I ask you to choose somebody who you had a relationship or you have relationship that is not very good at the moment, and we're gonna be improving it. But in your situations, it doesn't have to be a partner or a husband. In your situation, if you don't have, if you've chosen to attract somebody, then just do the same way. Where do you see them around you on the paper? Put a like dot for them and draw a shape on this imaginary person.
I did that. And then what are we trying to connect the two dots?
Yes.
With the neuro line.
With the straight line.
With a straight line.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you feel when you did this?
Good.
Great. Okay. So now we are going to be adding neurolines and expanding these shapes. If you have edges, it's going to be just continue from the, wow, my marker is lots of resistance here. So continue from the edges of the shape and draw neurolines to the edges of the paper. And if your shape doesn't have like sharp edges, just add lines from wherever you feel. Continue with the lines and add them to the edge of the paper. Try to cross the lines so you create crossings and you have crossings of lines, but don't do like a net, like, you know, when they're crossing on 90 degrees everywhere. So it doesn't look like a cage. Oh, I have some of those. So here I have some of the net happening here. And if you do, look at it and see how you feel about it. So you can also add lines across the shapes. So not just outside, but explore the inside of the shapes.
I was wondering if you might be able to comment for just a moment on the neural lines, as far as I've seen people do them differently, as far as like how smooth or sort of how shaky they are. And I was just wondering what, like, because yours do seem, I mean, they're not straight, but they're smooth like. Is that how you're supposed to do a proper neural line? Because I've just never really understood.
Okay, so yes, thank you for the question. Neural lines are, this is an example. Neural lines, we learn how to do neural lines in the basic course. So you
Right.
need to practice a little bit. Basically, the idea is that you are you're doing them in an unexpected way. This is what helps you change, transform, and get a result from the drawing. So if you do a repetitive pattern, like a wave, it will not be more effective. It will still have some effect, but it's not going to be as effective. So we want to do it slower than I'm doing it. And especially if you're a beginner and you want to observe and try and do them not repeating and going into unpredictable way. And sometimes it's going to be, I've seen clients that they are there's lots of turns, lots of wiggling, and some of them are more straight. And it reflects on the state you are in right now, and also on the your personality. So everybody will be different.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And if you really want to learn more and know how to do them, you're welcome to our basic user course, where you can really understand and get to know what they are and how to do them. But you can do them without it. You can already get the effects of the drawings, right, like this. And so next step, after adding lines, you can add lines even later, at later point. But if you feel like you have enough lines, let's start rounding. So anywhere there is a crossing of lines, we round, or we can go inside the area that we have created, like a little segment, and go over all the lines, add additional lining, and round like this. So this is another way of rounding, whichever you prefer, or you can do a combination. If the shapes are smaller, then you can use the inner rounding. If the shapes are bigger than just the corners. And if you have a thinner marker, thinner than what you did the lines with, you may use it for rounding if you prefer to round with a little bit of a thinner. You can turn your drawing. Okay. I'm having a lot of sounds, a lot of resistance to the shape of my husband, and it is relevant to what I'm experiencing. And I'm just noticing it, noticing the state, noticing what I feel in my body. And if you're drawing about attracting another person, you can as well think about how do you feel right now in your mind when you imagine them. So it's going to be imaginary person. And you can, since you don't know them, just think about qualities that you want them to have. Focus on those qualities and situations that you are going to be having with them. What do you want your relationship to look like? Since you don't have anything that you have experienced with the person, it's not yet, you haven't met them yet, then it's going to be more of imaginary. And for those people who are drawing like me on a relationship that is already, that they have already, or maybe they had before and now there is no relationship, but they want to restore the relationship. It doesn't have to be a husband or a partner. It can be your son or your child that you used to have good relationship with them. It can be a parent that you want to have good relationships with them. You can add more lines, as I said, at any point. Think about, observe your mind. Do you remember any situations from the past that are coming to mind? And as you do so, try to focus on the feelings in your body. Also, don't forget, what do you experience in your body? Body sensations and emotions as you work with roundings. And if something comes up for you, like a memory, stay with it. Don't judge it, but really look at it and see what is the message there. Why is this memory coming to you? what maybe there is a lesson. There is a lesson in any situation that we've been through, even very, very hard situations. There's usually, if we are able to find a lesson there, it's very empowering. And it transforms the whole situation. Even though it's happened, may have happened way in the past, but if your understanding and your attitude transforms, the situation somehow is different. Gets to be different. So observe. And as you draw around yourself, maybe there are other situations that are coming or other emotions that are coming when you're drawing around yourself. I have been working on this topic for a long time, and it's coming up in layers and layers and layers. Every time it gets easier. Before I couldn't even and hardly could even draw on this topic. It was more of the catharsis exercise, if you know the scribble one from the basic course, where there is a lot of emotional charge that you want to release. And if right now your experience, but I saw that a lot of them are positive. Okay, many comments. Relieve stress. I'm a teacher and I get anxiety on Sundays. Okay. Anxiety on Sundays before Mondays? Or is there a reason for Sundays? You have to relax on Sunday, right? This is your day. Maybe you need a vacation, a teacher. It's what grade are you teaching? I know we had a teacher who has changed by drawing Neurographica, they transformed their life and they're no longer a teacher and they're moved to do something else. It is 7 p.m. in UK and it is stormy. Okay. Oh, those are earlier comments. Windy here. Good. Okay. Before in the evening, when you draw in the evening, try to round carefully everything. And you can stop after rounding if you feel tired. You may feel tired after doing Neurolines and rounding. And you can leave it for the next day to finish. But still try to finish all the roundings. Do not add more lines if you don't have time to round today. You can color later, but all the roundings are good to be, it's good to be done in this day when you're drawing. Turn the photo sideways. Okay, Karen, I don't know what you were. Oh, for your phone. Okay, I hope you were able to get in and see well. You should have the option. Okay, this was for the camera. Is it better to be, okay, we did this. Sunday is the day back to work. I work at the behavioral school and take 3 to 12. So you start on Sunday? I mean Monday. Okay, Monday. Okay. Yes, so you start on Monday. Yeah, it's hard to work with Anna used to go to correction facility to draw Neurographica with the kids there, and she observed very interesting behavior after drawing Neurographica. She was able to diagnose some kids from their drawings. So it may be helpful. Okay. So now that I have rounded and I feel calmer already, and I feel like I can connect these two dots. So that's what I'm gonna do. I feel that I can draw the connection between these two dots. It still feels uncomfortable, and I want to change it a little bit. Okay. So if I turn my drawing around, this feels nicer to me. So I'm rounding the corners that straight line has created. And I'm neurolining the straight line a little bit, so it's not as straight. This, I'm doing it a little bit faster for some of you maybe, but you will have the recording and take your time to round in the speed that is comfortable for you. You don't have to do it the same speed as me. Take your time. And after rounding and adding the lines, look again and find the shapes and how do they look. So for me, I'm sorry for the noise. I forgot to turn this off. Okay. So for me, this shape has expanded. It was like this here, but it's now bigger. And it's not completed yet, but I can complete it by adding some lines. So what I'm gonna do is, and you can do the same if you feel like it. I'm gonna use some of the arches that are created and I'm gonna complete it to a shape that reminds me of a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but after doing this, I feel a lot more calmer and more secure. I also feel more expanded. My energy field is expanded. I feel more grounded and my breathing is deeper and calmer. It's not a perfect circle, but this shape is more balanced than what it was before. See if you want to do it. This is for me. This is I. That's where I started. You can start with the other participant as well, if you want. See where you want to start. And then whoever you want to start with, ask yourself why. So I wanted to start with me. And I'm asking myself, why is it so? Because if I want to do a change in my life, I need to change myself first. And this is what makes sense to me right now. This is what's coming to me right now. But for you, it may be different. You may be seeing it differently, feeling it differently. So after I did increase my own shape and made it rounded, let's see the other shape. How does it look? Well, I also want to do a circle around this. And I have some arches here and there. So I can start by completing the circle.
Now we're supposed to draw 2 overlapping circles now?
They don't have to see what yours want to be drawn. Mine are overlapping, but yours can be completely merged or far apart. This is just the next step. See if you can find and draw circles over your two shapes, you and the other person, and then analyze, are they overlapping? Are they far apart? Are they closer? Can you even draw a circle over them? Maybe you can draw another shape. Maybe it's something different, not a circle. What is it for you, and what is the message there? So who was able to find shapes to draw over themselves, and are they and the other participant, and are they touching or overlapping?
Mine are overlapping a little bit.
Okay. And how do you feel when you look at them overlapping?
I feel merged with my soulmate.
Good, good.
And
So
it appears, pretty balanced.
nice.
Like we're like compatible, like we're very compatible.
Great. Very good. And so you're drawing about your soulmate that you don't have yet, right? The one that you want
Right.
to. Yes, very good. Very good. And if you want to, if you want, if your compatible is good, but if some of the shapes is smaller than other and you want to increase it, you can do so.
Okay.
For not just for you, for other participants as well, so that at the end you feel this balance and compatibleness, like what was it Terry who said so about her?
Yeah, it just feels like there's a strong compatibility between us.
Yeah, so that's what we are trying to reach, is compatibility between us and the other participant. And if their shape is smaller or your shape is smaller, what can you do? So what is it that my shape is a little bit smaller than the other shape? So I want to have a support. I want to have a little bit of more support for myself to feel compatible, to feel, so I can use, I see another arch here that I can create into a circle. And this is in between us, but it's gonna be as a resource. I invite a resource for myself in this relationship. Something that's gonna help me feel better and feel safe and supported. This is one way to do it. And you saw that I did not just create it all out of nothing. I found a place that was already there. There was an arch started, and I filled the rest of the shape. So this is one way. Or the other way would be if you want to just add more lines, explore the area around you with more lines and see if other shapes will emerge. Do you get any insights about this relationship? Who are you? Who are you being in this relationship? Are you equal? Are you somebody who contributes more or less? Is the other
Yeah, I thought it
participant?
was interesting that you said that you want support, that you feel better if you feel more support from your partner. And mine are coming out more equal. I feel better if it's more of an equal give and take and support for each other.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yours were already very balanced, you said, when you.
Right.
Very good. And you can think about exactly in some particular ways, how do you want to feel this support from your future partner? Maybe think of situations or emotions that you want to experience that you will know that you are having this feeling the support. So maybe it's breakfast in bed or coffee that he's making for you, or maybe he's doing the shopping, or just hugging you. Everybody will have different needs, but think of what is it for you that you will know, that you will have the sense of support if this happens, if something happens. And if you know what it is, you can draw a circle about it. I want communication, open communication and discussion where I'm heard and understood clearly, which is very hard to do. Because everybody is used to their own way of communication, expressing themselves, and they think they're clear, but the other person gets something different. There is a book about communication that it was recommended for me, which was, I was just looking at this. What was it, the book? No, I don't have it right now. So how to win every argument, how to win every conversation, and not to win, but have agreement, how to have agreement on difficult topics or not so difficult. And it's very important because sometimes we want to say the same thing, but we don't know how to communicate it, how to express it. It takes courage to ask questions and to communicate your own thoughts and needs to another person. Okay. So in Neurographica, you can label things. So this will be communication for me. And this is support. If you want to label so you don't forget it. How do you, when you look at your drawing, how does it feel? Does it feel balanced? Does it feel good for you? Do you want to add something somewhere? Maybe it's lacking still something. And I want to add here, for me, this space is lacking groundedness and spiritual understanding. Interestingly enough, this is on the bottom, on the lower part, not on the top, where usually spirituality is. But it's kind of creating the basis of good communication when people are on the same page about spiritual truths. And understandings. And we are all there's so many things that are confusing about this. So many theories, so many religions about one thing, all are about the same thing. If religions cannot agree on one thing, how can humans agree? They have to describe the same thing with so many different variations. Okay. And I'm just adding lines to explore the space. So how are you doing right now? Tell me. How is it for you? Were you able to see, to balance your relationship? Were you able to round everything and add enough lines? Or how do you feel as a whole about this drawing when you look at yourself and your other participant?
I'm feeling good about
Good.
it. Again, like one of the other ladies mentioned, I'm not in a relationship, but I was trying to imagine myself like expanding my creativity and all the things that I want to pursue. So I have like a whole lot of like circles representing all the things I'd like to do. So I am thinking of adding more lines to it, but that was the gist of my thing, kind of improving my relationship with my creativity.
Wow, wonderful.
That's how I'm interpreting this.
Very, very good.
All the things I still want to learn. And here's me and the other person, the other thing. The upcoming crafts is ready to dock, and all the other ones are floating around waiting for me.
Yay, very good. And how do you feel in your body? Did you notice any reactions from your body?
I was having fun doing it. Like it was exciting me to the point where I really wanted to do this and I wanted to explore more. And it made me feel good. I liked it.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful, Susan. Wonderful. Okay. Next stage is to color. And we color with pencils in Neurographica. You are welcome to use markers, highlighters, if you have like good quality markers, you can do so, or you can just use pencils. Do not use oily pastels, because we are going to come back with more markers on top of the colors, and they will not work on the oils. The way we color, we will color over the black lines. So do not just color like mosaic, only one segment and then another segment and then another segment. Color over the black lines, creating shapes that are connected between several of the smaller segments. So not just one segment with one color, but at least two, maybe three or more with the same color. And right now, don't worry about shading, just color. Later on, we'll come back and have time to do some shadings and some other, make it prettier. Just color. If you have soft pencils, like usually watercolor pencils are softer, it will be easier for you to color. If you don't, just try to make it smooth so there are no hashing, at least not a lot of hashing. And you can overlap colors. So if I have one color and then I want to add another color, I can overlap in some segments between the two colors. They're like see-through in Neurographica. We don't stop, and then other color continues on top of the other. They're kind of see-through, and we color. What pencils are these? These are Symbolion. They only have 12 colors of them, not a lot, but they are nice because they don't have wooden parts, so the color is wider and it's easier, faster to cover. Colors have different meanings, and we learn about this in special algorithm course number 3 about neurocolors. But for now, I invite you to just choose colors that resonate with you. Choose your favorite colors, and if you don't have favorite colors, just pull colors with your eyes closed. It's gonna be okay. There's gonna be message. It always works out good, and if it will be healing, you will get colors exactly the way the ones you need to use for these situations. So I started with a lot of blues, and I'm surprised. Blue represents the water. And I started coloring from my circle for me. And this is another support for me. I have a lot of water elements from my year of birth, from my date of birth, my zodiac sign. They're all water elements. And I'm also in the state of life that is considered the water element. So it's all very interesting. I didn't think about it when I selected them, but it's so interesting that they come together around my shape to support, to give me more support, this fluidity, this ease that I want and I need. And so what else? The other color that I'm using here is green. Green is about the wood element, and it's, or the wind element. It's about growth, expansion, and new beginnings, transformation, which is exactly how I feel right now. You don't have to color like me. You can color different circles that you have on the drawing with different colors. And as you color, you will be mesmerized with this activity. This is the inspirational phase, as I call it. It's very soothing and calming, but it's also energizing and putting you in a state of great access to new ideas. So any questions that you may have, had in the beginning of the class, the questions that you came with, you may get glimpses of intuitive aha moment realizations through when you color. So stay with it and enjoy the coloring and try to allow yourself to be curious. What is the next color that's gonna come up? How am I gonna be coloring the next segment? This is the coloring book you have created out of your life. This is unique. Nobody else has it, and only you know how to color it. It's a representation of what your intuition is telling you, what your subconscious mind, the information that you are receiving from your subconscious mind, your intuition, and your own guidance. And it's healing at the same time. It is very healing for you. Make it unique to you, and it's interesting that the brightest color, yellow, is here over my husband. Very interesting. So yellow is about grounding, grounding and structure and wisdom. So I'm wishing for my husband to have more wisdom and be more grounded, grow up, be an adult. You can leave white segments on your drawing. You don't have to color everything. White is also a color. Just follow the same rule. Do not leave just one segment white. Leave at least two. And orange is another color that I want to give to him for energy. And he already has it, yeah. He has it. Okay. Okay, so later on, you can add more colors if you feel like it. The drawing is evolving with you, and tomorrow or next week, it's still gonna be open for you to come and touch up the drawing or add colors, add lines, or whatever you want, feel like it, adding. It does need to feel balanced for you. It does need to feel, you need to color it so that it feels satisfying for you and not for somebody else. Nobody's gonna judge you. So keep adding colors, keep coloring until you feel good and complete. And I'm gonna move to the next step, but you take your time with coloring as much as you want. The next step is to add field lines. Those are thicker lines that are they are representing the flow of the universe, because we are not alone in this universe. There are higher powers that are guiding us and that are creating the movement of life. So if we are aligned with those, we are going to be flowing with the life support, being supported by life forces. And that's what we want to do. We want to have this support. We want to be energized. How do we find them? So look at your drawing. You can squint your eyes. You can move it further away and see what stands out for you. There may be some lines, maybe some lines are thicker than others, and they will stand out for you. And we will make them even thicker. And they should go from one edge of the paper through the whole drawing to another edge of the paper. They can go over existing lines or create new lines, or partially go over existing and partially create new lines. And they can go in any direction, and they can split and merge between them. They can cross also, they can split, merge. See what it is coming for you. Don't be afraid of those lines. Sometimes people have resistance to draw them, but in a little bit we will have to round everything, and they will be incorporated very nicely as we do the rounding of those lines. So as I said, those thicker lines now have corners with the rest of the lines that are not rounded. So we go over those everywhere very carefully and incorporate them, round them, connect them. It's like huge rivers that have smaller streams coming out of them, connecting with the other thinner lines. Imagine that they are thicker in the beginning and then they become thinner as they go. And incorporate this power in your drawing. We are doing this with the same color you did the rest of the lines. Do not change the color now. If you are not doing it with black as me, but with another color, it's okay. Just do the field lines with the same color you are drawing from the beginning. And tell me how you feel after adding those thicker lines. Tell me how you feel. Is it fun to have the support of the universe? Does it feel uncomfortable? Is it... How does it feel for you? Do you not want to do it? Do you have resistance to doing it? Just be playful.
I like it, truthfully. I think it's sort of like, you say, like a grounding of the whole piece.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it provides the stable netting for
Yeah.
everything to, you know, come together.
Yes, it does provide the structure for the whole drawing. Yes, very well said. Thank you. And as long as you spend time rounding and incorporating those, it's gonna be okay at the end, I promise you. Do we have people who are not comfortable with the field lines? You can type.
I kind of didn't want to draw them because I was like, it's gonna mess it all up. And the universe has a way of doing that sometimes. So I thought that was an interesting reaction.
Oh, okay. It's great that you're observing yourself. So you had an aha moment. And now ask yourself, if the universe tend to do this to yourself, what is it that you need? What can help you have it smoother the next time you have to follow the universe? And ask this question and wait for the answer. It will come to you. And you may draw it. If it comes, you may draw a circle. Maybe you need more time to relax and have time for you to accumulate the energy, or maybe you need ice cream or you need a vacation. It can be anything. Just pose the question and the answer will come. Has it always been like this, that the universe surprises you unexpectedly? And in your case, it's very, very important that your field lines are softer. They are not very straight. They are not very jaggedy, but also not completely straight. They are kind of like a soft support, like you're drifting on a cloud, something that is rounded very well. Spend time on rounding of those field lines, so it feels safe. I have had that same response, felt like it would wreck my drawing. Yes. So this also is maybe a sign for you that you like to be in control of the situation and you don't trust the other people to do stuff because you are the doer. You always doing, and you do it the best way possible. But you need to delegate, learn to trust other people, trust the universe, and unload some of your own responsibilities. Okay, and so the next step is to find what is the most important from our drawing. And it can be one or few things, one or several things. So for me, the most important is that how do you find it? It's a shape that already is there, or maybe you want to draw a new shape that is not there yet. Maybe it occurred from the Firld lines or from the other lines. It may be that for me, I want to have so my own shape, I want to emphasize it and have more comfort in seeing myself and being okay with myself. So I'm highlighting my own shape, but you can highlight both of the shapes or just the middle part, the part that you are connected by with the other person. See what speaks out for you. See what is attracting you to highlight it. And we are calling this affixing or emphasis. This is the main aha moment. This is the result of your drawing. The result of my drawing is that I'm gonna be okay and everything is gonna be okay at the end. I feel that things are as they're supposed to be. And I have trust in the universe. This is it for me. This is the result of my drawing. For you, it's gonna be different. Everybody will have different aha moments. And I would love to hear you share what is yours. And as I highlighted, enlarge this, thicken the line, I can also get a color and color it inside. And strangely, this is the orange color. I did not expect the orange color. The last shape that you highlight doesn't have to be a circle. It can be something that you see on the drawing that is attracting your attention. It could be a triangular shape, or maybe you see something, and you don't have to do it right away. If you don't find it right away, give it some time, step away from the drawing. Maybe even leave it for tomorrow. Get a cup of coffee, go for a walk, and come back and see the drawing. Rotate. You can rotate it or snap a picture with your phone. Look it on the through the camera on your drawing. Maybe then you will see what is it there. There is a message there. There is a special message for you. There is an insight for you. that you would wanna want to get from your subconscious. And so this is the end of the drawing, and I'm gonna just share again my screen to show you the rest of the information that I wanted to finish about the course, and later after that you can ask questions. Okay, so soulful connections based on the pack model, when we will have exercises which are beautiful drawings. We will also talk about healing the inner child. So the class 2 is the inner child, and everybody has some places to heal with their inner child. So this class can be done several times, and every time it's a new new integration happening. And the next one is healing communication with a partner based on this pack model, resolving conflicts with based on the pack model as well. And you can kind of create a little bit of shading outside of the fixation. Do not overdo it. And then the inside will pop out. It's up to you which way you want to do it. But it's important for you to have a fixation, 1 or 2. Fixations can be more than 1. In this situation, if you are drawing, like we are drawing on the relationship part with another person, you can have 2 fixations. You and the other person, both can be fixations, if that's what you want, or just one of you, maybe the fixation can be you and the support that you need. It's also possible. Just try to ask yourself, what is it? What is the message? What is it? What is your subconscious mind trying to tell you? And be creative. So at the end, I want to, if you want to share your drawings, show me your drawings. Or if you have any questions, or just want, I want to hear from you what was the most valuable for you from this class.